Hi, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to my channel. This is another process video for Shimmers Paints and I am going to use this cut file from the Confessions of the Paper Addict cut file shop, along with remember to use my name in the comments and you will get a freebie. Okay, so what I decided to do is that I am going to make a simple layout. I decided to get out my glass beads that is part of my stock and I want to, like stash or whatever, I want to use the glass beads and turn it into a blue, like current style layout, because the photos that I have are of some dolphins as we were in Charleston. We took a ferry ride out to one of the one of the installations back during Civil War time around the South Charleston area. And I happened to be looking out and saw that these dolphins were swimming by us. And I was able to take pictures. Now it looked like it was a mom and pup, but I'm not quite for sure. So I placed all of that in there and now it's dry. I took out two different colors of blues and then I do come in with a gold towards the end. Now, the first color that I'm using is Coloringz Heidi Whole Blue, and then Vibez Cold as Ice. I want this to be a simple layout because I don't want you guys to think that using shimmers, paints, or any mixed medium, excuse me, has to be complicated. This was an easy layout for me to do. I did quite a bit of mixed media in the background with two colors, but it was just spraying and dropping droplets. That's it. And then I just came in with a Hip Kit collection and made it my own layout. And I wanted the cut file and the mixed medium to look like currents going through the water waves. And I feel that I achieved that. It looks really good. In the still shots, you will see how it really, really pops off the page. And in person, it's really, really cute. I really love how this layout turned out. Now, for most people, this can be like complicated, but remember, mixed media can also be an easy fix too, and an easy thing to do. This was super easy for me to do. I turned a cut file. Now, yes, did I use a die cutting machine for a cut file? You know, the Cricut? Yes. But I laid it down on the paper. I put a little bit of adhesive on the stencil that I turned into a stencil to place down to make sure it didn't move, and I was able to achieve these cute little waves that I turned into waves and made it into a water wonderland underneath my couple of photos. You don't need to go too extravagant. I was able to achieve what I wanted with a stencil and just a little bit of mixed media, and it still is stunning. I made sure that I didn't spend too much on the colors and stuff, because I still wanted it to be a major focal point in my layout, with that having your eye look at that first and then find the photos. And the photos are I think it was when we looked at it, I think it was a mom and pup. So I think it was a mom and sibling or whatever you want to call it, for this dolphin. And I absolutely loved it. I pulled it all together so that you could be able to find the dolphins quick by putting on the title that I do once you see that coming up. Now, I am using as much scraps as I possibly can to layer up my photo. I wanted it to be very layered, very me, but I needed to use up some of these scraps. Now, I am using the May kit. Yeah, the May kit for the hip kit. Y'all know that I love my hip kits. And I'm using that so that I can try to get some of these taken care of and off my thing, because June's just around the corner and that one will be coming, and I have yet to get rid of April, May, I think it's actually March, April, May. And I've got June coming, so I got to get one of these done and disband. Okay, so now I am going through all of this and making sure that I back this up on some foam tape. Now remember, when you are, I forgot to tell you this. I did prime this with gesso too. So when you have gesso and you're using a lot of mixed media like I am, you have to use glue. There's just no ands buts about it. Using your ATG gun is not going to work. And I find this time and time again. I get comments about how I get stuff stuck after, being stick down and it stays without it coming up. ATG does not work. You need to use dimensionals. You need to use some type of glue, something. It just doesn't stick. And if the puffy stickers aren't sticky, they're not going to stick either. You just need to go out and get some Tombow or any other adhesive that you guys like to use. Now, you guys know that I'm a Tombow person, so I use a lot of it. I know that Scotch Tacky Glue is what Missy Whitten uses because she does a lot more mixed media than I do, but I use it a lot. I do mixed media. I know Audrey Yeager uses the quick dry stuff as well, if I remember correctly. You just have to find it, and I'm telling you, that's the only way you're going to be able to get this stuff stuck down and for it to stick. Now, I put Summer Fun on this layout, and I turned a March-ish layout into a summer layout. And you wouldn't really know that because I took these pictures in March, and when you put them into my album, I love using all different types of collections to make the photos work. So I have a lot of bright summer stuff in my collection already, and my wedding anniversary is at the end of March. This time around, it actually landed during Easter. A friend of mine took care of my daughter during Easter, and we went on this trip because that's when my anniversary landed. Can't help that. So this is the new Dear Lizzie collection, Here and Now, or Now and Then, something like that. I have Fifth and Monaco in here and some Amy Tan stuff as well. Now I'm placing 2 little strips along the bottom and the top to kind of just bridge the gap between this. And I really like how that turns out. I think it's perfect for what it is. And I add some greenery and this little bear. It looks like a gummy bear. And I pop this up on some foam tape and get it glued down so it sticks. And I do get out some thread as well because I absolutely love thread. Ever since Missy Whitten has used thread, I really, really love how it turns out. I think it's perfect. Now, I will say on camera here, it may not look like the blue is very bright, but I promise you it is. Even in real life, you can really, really see it. And the one thing that I like about the glass beads and using shimmers on it is that once the glass beads completely dried. Now, I will tell you this. My glass beads are not completely dry here because I wanted it to stay a little bit wet so that it soaks into the glass beads, because that color of it looks white on camera right now, but it actually dries clear. And so I wanted that blue to actually be inside the glass beads, and on camera with some of the still shots, you will see what I'm talking about, but in real life, if you use the glass beads, you will see what I'm talking about. Get it wet, and it really, or keep it wet and then spray your colors, and it works perfectly. So here I am. I'm just going through a little bit more pieces of the ephemera pack to do. Make sure that you go like and subscribe to the Shimmers Paints. Everything will be linked down below, along with what I am using for the 3 colors. I do come in towards the end for splatters, obviously. I switched up my gold splatters, and I'm using Vibez Sunset Strip. I really, really, really like that one as well, and I like to switch back and forth. Both of the gold that I use is perfect. I just like both of them. They're very subtle. It doesn't make me feel like I'm using quite a bit of it. So the still shots are coming up. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I do upload between 2 to 3 times a week. I also do design team layouts, 12x12s, and traveler's notebooks. I would love to have you to my family, so I hope that you do like and subscribe. Other than that, I hope that you all are staying safe. Check out my still shots, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.